Moose, Sensei here. Of course, KSI brings us back to YouTube. Final Jake Paul offer and a crazy fight announcement. But before we get into that, Brendan, the videographer here at the channel, showed up to my black belt test today. We had black belt testing for our students. Sensei today was doing backflips, side flips, karate moves, swinging a sword around, doing his best Jim Carrey impression, having a grand old time. Brendan, roll the clips. Bob Jackson is here. Game face. I'm gonna do my best Jim Carrey impression. This looks hilarious. I can't even look at myself. I'm not gonna keep the face. I gotta get the whole like. I gotta make sure this doesn't fall off. Forward to bringing a lot more dojo and martial arts content to you guys, but in the midst of that, we had this KSI news drop, so we're just gonna look at it together and talk about it and see if we can figure some details out and, you know, get a vibe. Is this Jake Paul thing gonna actually happen, and what do we think about the fight announcement? Well, let's go. If this video gets 100K views and I don't know, 10,000 likes, I don't know, maybe 10,000 likes is reasonable. Is that reasonable? 5,000? Not 10,000. I will do everything in my power to make sure I spar JJ once again. Our fourth match or whatever. I don't even know how many times we sparred in the lead up to this fight. If he would let it happen. He probably would, because he knows he'd probably get me again. But I'll do it. I'll prepare for it. I'll make it happen for the return of the channel of Old Man Sensei. I'll go down to the UK, shoot fighters, do some MMA with MVP, you know what I mean? And hopefully come back in one piece. Let's make it happen. Okay, so first, let's just go through this Jake Paul offer.
Today, Jake, I'm going to be making you my final offer. May 2025.
Okay, so we're already 1 year out. Not bad. But the problem is when it's like so far out, there's like so much that can get in the way. Right? That's literally a year away. Now, in fighting, a lot of time to prepare, but there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Life, you know, happens, dude, and life can get in the way. You got these guys are going to be fighting clearly in between. So depending on what happened with those fights, career-wise, personally, family, girlfriend, relationship, you don't know. Right? A year is a long time. So that is a cause for concern. Anything less than 6 months, I'm like, not loving it. But okay, we're getting somewhere.
Just so you have all the time in the world to be ready. And we can even do it in America, just to make you that bit.
Okay. I like doing it in America. I'm not sure Jake really cares, but I think that maybe it does help negotiation, maybe.
Bit more happy. But that is it when it comes to giving you advantages. I mean, first of all, we agreed to fight at 180 pounds, and then you decided to run away and fight Nate Diaz instead. Then you came back, won in the fight at 185 pounds. And then you decided, you know what? Scratch that. Let's fight at 200 pounds. You know?
Yeah, the weight thing is, it seems like it's more not like what's the optimal weight, but it's like you don't want to give up. You don't want to concede to the other guy because you think you're the A side. So obviously KSI is naturally the lighter guy, so he's going to want to fight at a lighter weight. And now Jake Paul, if he feels like he's the A side, now he doesn't want to fight at a lighter weight because he's not going to concede. He's like, no, you're going to come up to my weight. So I feel like the weight thing is you just don't want to compromise. It's just pure stubbornness at this point. Obviously, I think for KSI, it's smart. You know, there's a bit of an edge. Obviously, Jake heavier, JJ lighter. But, like, come on. Let's get it done.
You know what, Jake? I'm tired of this bullshit. Get off the cycle and let's make this work.
What do you mean by that? Get off the cycle. Okay, that means he's accusing Jake of using steroids. It has to be, right? I can't be. I'm not crazy, right? He said, get off the cycle, which means When you get off the cycle, you're going to drop in weight. So he's accusing Jake of using. Interesting.
We both have weight to lose, and we both have plenty of time to do it. 185 pounds is my final offer. Take it or leave it. If you come back with some bullshit on social media, I will sleep good knowing that deep down you never really had the balls to fight me in a fair fight. You were never actually about it. You were just trying to save face online.
No, notice he says fair fight. I think obviously because of the weight class thing, JJ should not be fighting at 200 pounds. And based on what JJ is saying, I think he's referring to that Jake needs to get off the cycle in order for him to get to 185. Look at this freeze frame, by the way. Cut this crap, dude. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what he's alluding to. So anyways, there's that. There's the final offer, right? We'll wait to see what Jake has to say. Hopefully he just says yes to everything and concedes everything. Please, somebody's got to concede. Somebody. Jake, do it. All right, so we can get the fight. But JJ had a more important announcement, fight announcement for this.
To fight me in a fair fight. You were never actually about it. You were just trying to save face online. So, still, we all are wondering, who am I fighting? Well, they've told me to fight a warm-up fight since I've had 10 months off. They told me to find Ryan Borderland's cousin. They told me to fight the dad of Andre August. They even brought me Holyfield. What the...
Okay, the first two was the troll. Like Ryan's cousin and Andre August's dad. But Holyfield? I swear. You guys, if you guys watch the breakdown, you know my opinion on the Jake fighting Mike Tyson, which I know that it's been postponed and it's like officially happening, and I don't like that. But him fighting Holyfield would be crazy. We got to stop doing fighting the old people, right? I know I was wanting to fight Anderson, but again, I'm not young and mean and lean and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm kind of old, so it's okay, right? It balances itself out. But JJ fighting Holyfield, it's like they offered him Holyfield? No way. Please no.
They forget, ladies and gentlemen, is that I am not Jake Paul. I want to fight. I am here to fight. I want to challenge myself. So I'm going to fight a person that has been on my case for ages. So I will be fighting Slim.
When I first saw this, I thought it was a troll. I thought that was going to be like something, which I was right about. But first of all, dubs. I'm not going to take any credit, but I feel like Wade and I on the breakdown pushed this. Not sure it mattered. It definitely didn't. But I like to think that it did. Because we were back in Slim heavy to get this fight. Like, come on, dude. It's for the culture, for the community, for influencer boxing and crossover. Let Slim get this opportunity. We would love this. It's not in the grand scheme of things of JJ's name and brand, maybe not, but for us, this is a great fight. W.
And Anthony Taylor in a 2v1 handicap tag team match.
Now this is wild because it's again. I thought the whole 2v1 thing. I think when Fox G did it is slightly disrespectful, definitely disrespectful to the opponents, right? Because he's like saying, you guys can't fight me one-on-one, so you have to team up. So already, that's a slight. So he's straight up dissing Slim and Anthony Taylor. Now, obviously, I think in this video, he does go on to say that they have to accept the fight. But so far, I've seen on X or Twitter, whatever you call it, they have accepted it. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty here of this fight. I don't remember the exact rules of the 2v1, but I believe if you KO one, because the tag team is like if one person got KO'd, it was over, right? So they have to be able to tag in order for the other person to come in. Like if you knock somebody out, that's it. So is it a thing where like JJ thinks he can fight Slim, and here's my thought, okay? Before I just rush into it, he gets Slim and Anthony Taylor, okay? In my mind, let's get Slim first because he thinks he can knock him out, right? If he knocks him out, the match is over. He doesn't have to face Anthony Taylor. But then if he's working Slim, right, is Slim going to tag out? Because that's kind of the mental game. Because it's like, oh, you tagged out. So because even if you kind of have like a fallback, because let's say he's working Slim and then Slim has to tag out, you're essentially in a fight conceding a loss. You're tapping. It's like, it's the same as a submission, essentially. You know what I mean? So you sign up for it, but then Anthony Taylor comes in. Let's say he wins. JJ there's a fallback there. Because if I'm in there, right, as soon as I tag out, if it's not a tag team, it's versus one guy, you're literally conceding the fact that you don't want to fight him anymore. You can say that we're working together or whatever, but still. It's not a great look as a fighter. That's a lose situation, even if you end up with a win with a 2v1. So I'm interested to think about the intentions behind it completely. You know, I think JJ just, it's like probably like twofold, right? JJ gets to compete against both of these guys, and if he pulls this off, you know, it's incredible. It's up there with, you know, Jake's best victories, because Anthony Taylor he knows how to win fights. He's tough as nails. He's hard to put away. You know what I mean? And then Slim, also savvy, tough. Two very tough fighters. If you're going to fight them one-on-one, let alone if they're going to work together. But is Anthony Taylor going to tag out? I can't see any of these guys tagging out unless they just come together and be like, listen, we're just going to work together and try to get this dub. Is that a dub, you know, for them? How does, you know, JJ look at it? If he can perform well and compete, you know, it's a tricky situation. It's very tricky. I think that Slim and Pretty Boy should just call the bluff and just work together. Because then I think eventually you might get a 1v1 out of it. Let's say Slim competes better or Pretty Boy, and then they can fight for the win. Maybe they do that. Then they fight, and whoever wins out of them gets the KSI fight. I don't know. You know, we wanted the Amir Khan, which is definitely a big challenge for JJ. But JJ said they made an offer, and Amir Khan was taking too long to respond. So, again, don't know what that means. It doesn't mean like Amir Khan said no. It said he was taking too long. So probably they gave him an offer. Maybe Amir Khan didn't like the offer, right? Came back with some stipulations, maybe wanted more manyans or something. And whatever. But it was very clear in the messaging that Amir Khan was just taking too long to get an answer, so they went with this. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I do like it a bit. I do wish, though, that it was one or the other. Again, because you leave all this gray area in a 2v1 because there are some cop-outs for JJ, and there's a huge upside for JJ. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Because this is important as a community. What is your thoughts? Let's argue about it in the comments here. Is this a good move by JJ? Should Slim and Anthony Taylor accept this? Because if they do, and they do work together, and they do tag out, does it look like they took the easy way out, or they can't actually compete with JJ on their own? You know? Yeah. Tricky, but I like it because it makes you think, and it makes you wonder. I'm looking forward to Jake's response if he hasn't responded yet. And, yeah, we'll go from there. If I was Slim, if I was Anthony Taylor, I would take it. But that's just me. But I wouldn't tag out. That's the other thing. If I go in there, this is my fight. You know, if you're second, then hey, if you win, right? If I were to be second, if I win, then we honor the rematch because he had to fight somebody else first. But if I'm going first, listen, sorry, Anthony Taylor. If you're going second or Slim, I'm going into the fight. Whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? Maybe we switch after the round. But at the end of the day, if I don't win by myself, that's an L. It's got to be an L. Okay? Let me know what you think. We'll be back soon with some more videos. Oos.